All right, hello, I'm Alexander Moore, and I'm running for CSA Human Resources and Operations Commissioner. I've always really enjoyed contributing to student life, like I've done in various capacities over pretty much every semester I've been at the university as well. And after working as the club's coordinator this year, I feel that I'm not only best suited to the position of the HRNO, but that is the best way for me to go forward to improve student life, like the best platform, the way I can raise benefit to the students. I have a lot of different experience on campus. I've worked within Interhall, I've worked on RLS, I've been a club exec. Right now I work as the club's coordinator, and as well I'm the staff rep at the CSA. And although all of those, provide different, time management, problem-solving skills, like crisis management in different situations like that, I feel that the one that probably benefits me most from my experience is the club's coordinator and the staff rep, because it gives me a real perspective into the inner workings of the CSA and how the staff interact and the exec interact with the CSA, which is a lot of what the HRNO position deals with, as well as the finances and where the CSA puts things in different directions, because often the staff rep is informed in those situations. So I feel like I have a solid understanding of how the CSA runs, and not only how it runs properly, but its strengths and its weaknesses, like how it works as a communal body and how we can use that to our advantage rather than undermining it through different policies. I definitely want to make the most out of student money and to ensure that the money that's coming into CSA is going towards the services that are geared for the students and not towards another claim or frivolous future pursuits or, tossed into a bucket kind of thing. But to issues that students really care about, and this could be reflected in things such as student jobs within the CSA, which I believe are a amazing service, because not only do they provide, students who are going to university positions that, give them resume skills, but they can also work them while they're going to university, and it brings more people and more independence ideas into the CSA, so we can continue to grow, which is a fantastic thing. One issue that I'm actually very interested in is communication and cohesion within the CSA, which is how to make the CSA, because it's so strong as a union, a more collaborative body, because a lot of the issues that I see have arisen in the CSA in this year and in past years, when we look at maybe Insight or pro-life or the SHAC proposal this year, have come apart because there hasn't been enough communication with the CSA, or other student groups haven't been checked with. So I would like to, create systems not only to allow, it'll be a lot easier for students and staff to put in feedback, but that so they're kept up to date on upcoming or even potential pipeline CSA policy, so that people can know what they think. And this way, we can get more opinion towards what's going on, as well as make sure everyone's informed and feels like they too are a part of the policy going on rather than separated. I would also like to make it some of my goals to streamline a lot of the different policy within the CSA. As working as the club's coordinator, I have worked on simplifying SLP policy and creating transition material for clubs. And I think that's something that can be extended into the entire CSA, because one of the large issues that I see right now is the very large transition time, how long it takes for everyone to get into gear, into sync, because there's not that proper policy. And with our new policy and transition position at the CSA, working with Jackie there, I will be able to effectively, get the CSA, running and on its feet quickly, so that we can get into the year and everyone can be working as a whole and moving forward, rather than kind of being like, oh, how do we get this working? Oh, this is kind of out of whack, and not knowing who to go to or where to go to for that information, having that body of resources available to all the staff, so that we can just move forward and be a students' union. I personally am very interested in sustainability within the CSA, not only in terms of ecological and environmentally friendliness, and making sure that we have solid tabs on all the different products and things that come out of us, and that students can be aware of that and know that we are taking those extra steps to show that this is a sustainable route and these things can be done, on the, limited budget that the CSA does have. But as well sustainability in terms of the CSA and the CSA structure, because it is such a model of such high transition and turnover. New people every year, you don't get people, in the same positions, to be able to continue that, to create a system where you can still implement policy that can be moved through those years, or that, everything isn't drastically changed every year, where everyone comes in, and say, I'm going to do this new large big thing, and then they get into the CSA and they're like, oh, well, there's no way I can do that in a year, and drop it, and then nothing changes. I think the easiest and best way to do that is to ask the undergraduates themselves, and they may not always answer, but to collaborate with the other execs, especially, the communications commissioner, to make sure, and like I said before, having the kind of policy and, pipeline policy available so students can bring in that feedback, so they're informed about that, so someone who wants that to be known, wants, their opinion known, can be known, and as well to have forums that are readily accessible, like blogs and picture shows through the CSA website and the canon.ca, so we can get that kind of student feedback, and so we can know directly from the students, what they want, and as well to focus on the services that most readily impact students and that are most beneficial to students, because, well, by doing that, it's directly serving the students' interests. I've thought about this, like, before this question even came up, because it is a very busy position, which is one of the reasons why I'm kind of attracted to it. There's like a certain, I don't know, romance to human chaos that I'm just like, oh, I want to be in the center of that kind of madness. I like that. I think there will be two big challenges to face as HRNL. And the first one will be at the very beginning, and that will be integrating the executive together and getting everything running. Because once the executive starts, if you can form a collaborative, cohesive whole as the CSA, then you can go forward as, a strong group of people, which is what's so great about the CSA, that it's not a hierarchy, it's a union. You have these 5 portfolios working together, and that's what, can create so much going forward. But if you have 5 portfolios all working on their own, then that's where you get that kind of, fractionation of the CSA's capacity to do pretty much anything. So I see the HRNO as a position that is very strong in holding the CSA internally together, like it's a much more internal position than, local or external or academic or communications. It deals much more with the CSA's interaction, and I see it as the HRNO's responsibility to make sure the CSA is working as a whole. And then the second big challenge, I think, will come later in the year and will be something that I can't predict, something like the life choice incident that occurred or Insight, and being part of the, or being around for the life choice incident, being the staff rep during the Insight incident, has given me the experience to know how to deal with these problems directly and straightforwardly and get out of the miscommunication that often happens in those kind of situations, and to treat the problem straightforwardly will be to solve the problem quickly rather than dilly-dallying around it or saying this or that, but to create the kind of inclusive CSA that has that kind of open communication will, I feel, not only, well, reduce the likelihood of these kind of things happening, but if they do happen, dissipate them. I like Paisley, and I like candy, and I think that you should vote for Alexander Moore for the Human Resources and Operations Commissioner in the CSA elections.